Some of it's fear, but a lot of it is I don't know what to do. So he was barking at me a lot before, staring at me in my face, telling me he didn't like me. And on a scale of 1 to 10, how frustrating is this for you with him at home? 10 being like, I can hardly do this anymore, and 0 being, I don't care.
When I'm on a walk,
Yeah.
we're at a 10, and I think
Okay.
that he can feel that because
Okay, so
I'm avoiding other dogs
Right.
when I go for my walk.
so your life is shaping around him, correct?
On the walk.
On the walk.
Yeah.
Right.
At home, he's wonderful.
But he's only gonna be happy when he's out for a walk because he's a dog.
Absolutely.
What's the point of telling the dog that they can be good in a house?
Right.
You know?
So I'm really happy when it rains
Yeah, exactly.
because he's the only one out walking.
Exactly. Hi. So your reactivity is at an all-time high
Yes.
with other dogs.
Only dogs that are coming at us.
Okay.
If there's another dog on the same path in front of us,
Okay.
okay. If there's dogs behind fences, okay. It's just when they're coming at us.
Yep. Okay. So if I get another dog out into the room right now, what do you think he'll do?
He would go after it.
Okay. And that's what we're going to try to fix today. So a lot of reactivity issues, as I always tell people, are strictly and solely based off your relationship. And that's what I was seeing in him, is he's kind of empty. He's barking on empty. There's no intent. There's no assertiveness. It's just I'm barking because I don't know what else to do. So what I want to do is take that barking behavior and turn it into not a barking behavior, but also make sense of, he doesn't know why other dogs are walking at him. So it could be an insecurity thing, so you get a little fear from that. But you need to be able to desensitize him to other dogs.
Yes.
And let him know that it's not his place. And that's why, like, when he first started barking at me, I took the leash and I said, no, we're not doing that. And then immediately he was like, okay, we're not doing that. What you're missing is consequence. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah.
He has no consequence for the reactivity that he's doing.
Yes.
And it's interesting to me how many people, because I specifically do behavior stuff and aggression and reactivity, and it's interesting to see how many people actually come in here with these types of behaviors, and it's ruining your relationship on many levels, but yet they've never done anything about it. And so that's where I'm going to come in, is I'm going to use a slip collar at first.
Okay.
Nylon slip collar, high and tight. When he barks, correction. Because you need to let him know you can't bark. If a dog's in his face, if a dog's chasing him, bark. But when another dog is present, they shouldn't feel the need to claim the room, to claim you. Because if they're doing that, they're disengaged with you and you don't matter.
Right.
Which is an issue.
Oh, absolutely.
So it's like all the way down to your relationship. It's the only reason why it's happening. If you had a good relationship, he wouldn't be reacting that way. And if he did, he would listen to you when you said knock it off. Because it's a respect thing.
So when you're saying no, like when he barks, you're pulling on the collar then? And are you saying no at the same time?
Good question. I'm going to say leave it, and I'm going to pop the collar.
So you're going to pull.
Nope, I'm not going to pull. Or drag, I'm going to pop. So it's basically going to be like this. Leave it until he stops.
You're doing just that right there.
To him.
To him.
Yes.
Okay.
So when he's on the leash, I'm going
Yes.
to do this. Leave it. Leave it. Leave it till he stops.
Okay.
That's going to create a consequence for barking.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I don't know anything in the world that disregards a high belief system of I have to without a consequence.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely.
I have to, you don't understand. But then if you're like, you're going to die if you do it, you're going to gain 120 pounds, you're going to do this, you're going to do this, and then they go, okay, you're right, I don't want to do that anymore. Why do people quit smoking? Why do people stop doing this or that? It's because there's consequences for it, right?
Yes.
So I have to give him some sort of consequence or discipline to tell him that that's wrong.
Yes.
Because it's spiraling out of control.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So and that's what I didn't know, because he really does go ballistic.
I believe it.
I didn't know
Exactly. Not many people do.
what consequence
Exactly.
to give him.
A lot of dogs, so then you get lost, because then you Google something and you're like, oh God, that's so much information, and it's all contradicting. This is a professional over here with 5-star reviews. This is a professional over here with 5-star reviews. What do I do? What you need to do is what makes sense.
Right.
Right? And does it make sense to say, you are damaging our relationship, I don't know how much longer I can do, you're clearly in a bad state of mind that I want you out of for your benefit. If you put a consequence or discipline over the behavior to eliminate it, it'll move it away. Doesn't that make more sense?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, and
Okay.
like.
So there's no other way to
He
do
can't even
it.
hear me when he
Yep.
does this, you know.
I believe it. Are we buddies?
Yes.
Yeah, we
I
are.
told you, he's love.
Because he's like a terrier mix, he's going to be stubborn.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to take a lot of pressure to disengage him. But the key is to give him a little bit of uncomfortability or discipline for a couple seconds to tell him that that's wrong. Okay? Think of it as hot and cold. Okay? When you touch a pan, it gets super hot, or you touch a stove, what are you going to do? Remove it. If you do it again, guess what? It's going to be hot again.
Right.
Same thing, that's the type of concept I want you to understand. Is every time he does this, there's a lot of pressure involved. And dogs are very smart and intelligent, and they're going to go, I don't really like that. And then it never happens again. There's no reason to sugarcoat anything and avoid and touch it for a second, or touch it and let me feed you hamburgers at the same time. It still sucks. I don't want to do it anymore.
Right.
Good. And then you can transfer that to other things. That's the important part, is you're missing the factor of being able to discipline him in general. So if he jumps, if he screams, if he pulls, if he barks, you don't have anything to tell him that that's wrong.
Right.
So this is going to transfer to everything else. I'm not going to give you the leash during this process because you're not in the right state of mind to be doing this stuff. So if I get another dog out into the room right now, what do you think he'll do?
He would go after it.
Okay. Shh. Stay. Good. Good. Shh. Good boy. Thank you very much. Good boy. We'll go home and do our homework. What do you think?
I'm gonna cry. I don't know.
I'll teach you how to do all this. Krista.
Just for us, each dog's gonna learn.
Good boy, Spot. Nice job.
Each dog can learn age, their breed, they learn at a different pace, so we don't miss the next station.
Everything that we do here, as far as helping people get rid of behaviors or fix behaviors, is start with the relationship.
Yeah.
Okay? Touch. Once your relationship gets better, then the dog will get better. And so that's what you're missing. Quite a touch. Shh, leave it. So see all that negative pressure
Oh yeah.
over what I don't like. I don't want that growl to turn into a bark.
Right. And it was quick.
It was quick.
You were.
Yep, quick, on time,
Yeah.
but to the point. I wasn't like, excuse me,
Yes.
can you please stop? I just,
Yeah.
you know.
So would you wear the? Would I put this collar on him to walk him? I mean, like.
Sure, why not?
Okay.
So, before this, there was a lot of stress and reactivity. And that was all creative through him going, oh God, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And then it was coming all the way up, and then, so it started out here, it was all body, super nervous, and then all of a sudden, you get the reactive bark. And he did that right when he came in. He barked at everything.
Yes.
And you even said, if you brought another dog out, he's going to lose his mind.
Yeah.
And he didn't. right? Because I have a better relationship with him than you do. And what I mean by that is it's a more balanced relationship. It's healthier. Like, he doesn't love me as much by any means, but he understands me more.
Right.
Because I gave him good, clear intentions of like, this is what we're doing. And he said, got it.
Yeah.
And that was it. And it only takes a little bit of discipline or a little bit of guidance, and then a dog just grabs it like a Velcro,
Yes.
and they got it forever. And now I can bring him around as many dogs as I want, and he'll do this. So he'll be happier.
See, I don't believe you yet. Because when the dog comes right at him, that's the time.
Koda, touch. Good girl, watch him. Good, watch him. Good girl. Good girl, watch him. Good girl, watch him. Good girl, watch him. Oh, good touch. Right?
Yeah.
So that was probably way more intense than the dog walking towards him.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So,
Yeah.
but the point is it doesn't matter what's thrown at you. It does. I shouldn't say that. It does matter what's thrown at you, but given the certain circumstances and the right tools and proper usage of what you need to do, you can handle anything. Because it definitely does matter. Because if you get an older dog that just waddles over and pays no attention, you probably won't get anything.
Right.
But if you get another dog that's uncontrolled, barking their head off,
Yes.
he's prone to lose his mind because it's rude. And so that's what I was demonstrating with that, is I have a dog 5 feet away barking hysterically at his face, and he was like, I don't like this, but you didn't get that reckless, neurotic behavior.
Exactly.
And you would probably bet money that prior to this you would have said yes
Oh, yeah.
to that happening.
Yeah. So I'm walking along, the other dog's walking, he starts to bark, I say no,
Yeah. Yeah, a little correction.
little correction.
Yep.
Do I stop walking, let that other dog pass, or do I?
It depends. It depends on the other dog, right? Because if you get a dog that's very well controlled, walk right past. But you have to play it safe. But I would give the advice of, under any circumstances, I don't think it should matter what the other dog's doing, because you should have ultimate control. Play it safe.
Right.
You know, like if the other dog is like, I don't bring my dogs out in public ever, and they're really nicely trained, and they are prisoners because the public, I can't do anything with them. It's really quite sad actually, because I spend a lot of time with my dogs and they're very well trained, and they can't do anything. Because you always get that one person that'll ruin everything for you.